Okay, so the other day I was trying to record a video, and this is kind of the topic. This says a child that is treated with respect won't have to spend their adulthood learning they are worthy of it. And the premise of the video I recorded was basically about being worthy, and not just worthy, but like they won't have to spend their lifetime trying to find love if they're actually loved by their parents. And so, what I was saying is, I have realized that being raised by a narcissistic mother, and then an absent father who, when he did come into my life, was also, well, come back into my life, was also narcissistic. My father was in prison for 12 years. He got out when I was 18. Um, so I did grow up with my mom for a period of time. I did live with my paternal grandfather. I went to school from his home, all of that. But when I got to a certain age, my mom came and got me. I feel so that I could take care of my younger brothers. Because that's what happened. Excuse me. That's what happened. The semblance of a childhood that I had was basically when I lived with my grandfather, or when I would go spend time with my Aunt Byrne, who is not even my aunt biologically. That's my youngest brother's biological aunt on his dad's side. Um, so those two people are the main people that I got love from as a child. Um, but being raised by a narcissistic mom, you are taught to shrink yourself. You are taught that your feelings do not matter. You are taught not to speak up for yourself. You are taught that you have to. I was taught that I literally had to be this child that did no wrong, that did not speak up, that took the blame for everything, that did all of the work, that did whatever my mom said. That was the only way that I was safe. And by safe, I mean safe from physical harm, because I was physically abused, I was mentally abused, I was financially abused. When I started working, she took all my money. Even when I moved out of the home with her and my brothers, I was still giving her my money because I was trying to care for my brothers, but that's not what she was using the money for. Um, I had no idea during that time, though, that that's what was going on. But I was always the one that she leaned on, even emotionally. Like, she would tell me things that you should not be telling your child. And so it was like she had me in a position to be her parent as well. So I was a parentified child. I was a caregiver for my brothers. I was expected to make perfect grades, not mess up at school, not do anything wrong. I had no autonomy over my own body. And when I say that, she showed me that in many ways, but I always felt safest when I did exactly what she wanted, exactly the way she wanted it done. And even then, that wasn't enough, right? I had to give all of myself, and nothing that I wanted or I felt mattered. And so, as an adult, I have come to realize that in not just romantic relationships, but mainly romantic relationships, I shrink myself as well, because I felt like, okay, if you don't have any needs or you don't have any wants, then people are more likely to keep you around. They're more likely to love you, right? They're more likely to um, value you or see you as useful. Like, I felt like I wasn't worth anything if I wasn't useful. And so that's what being raised by a narcissistic parent will do to you, because that is literally what they teach you. That is literally how they treat you. You don't really matter unless you are doing for them and doing it exactly the way they want you to do it. Your well being does not matter. Your emotional health, your mental health, none of that matters to them. What matters to them is them and what they can benefit from concerning you. Like, even when I was going to the military, I was in the Army Reserve program, I was in the College First program. So they were paying me a stipend each month to go to school. And I had to have a checking account for that. I had never had a checking account before, didn't know how it worked, and I believe I was 17 at the time. And so I got the account, and my mom ordered checks on my account. She would have me go into the stores and write the checks over so that the store would give me cash. Even though they gave it to me, the cash went to her, right? And what she did with the cash was she spent it on her and her girlfriend at the time. And so once she taught me how to do that, I didn't think anything was wrong with it because she had me doing it. So I would go to the store and do it, and I would get things for myself and for my brothers mainly. Like, I'll get them clothes, shoes, game systems, stuff like that. Like, I was taking care of us because she was never at home. She would only come home to get clothes, get money from me, and then she would go back to her girlfriend's house. So my job with while I'm in college, I still gotta get my brothers off to school. I gotta go to school, make sure they get home. Like, everything was on me. So eventually this caught the attention of the Bryan Police Department, because it's when we lived in Bryan College Station. And so this one particular day, she had told me, she was like, don't go to school because they're going to be looking for you. And I'm like, looking for me for what? And she was like, because of those checks. And I was like, but I have a final exam or whatever. Like, I was worried about school. So I went to school, took my test. And as soon as I stepped out of the classroom, there was a detective in plain clothes there, a white detective. Not that that matters, but for optics, he treated me like I was gonna run away. He put me in handcuffs and walked me out of the college, out of Blaine College. And then I did not cry until I got to the jail, and he allowed me to call her and tell her, what was going on. And I'm apologizing to her. I'm telling her, I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry, but it was her fault that I was in this trouble to begin with. You know what I'm saying? And she didn't care. She didn't come see me in jail. The only thing she did was sent me, like, she brought some white t-shirts and white underwear, bras and panties, and she sprayed them with her perfume. That's what she brought to the jail. Like, why do you think I want to smell you while I'm sitting in jail behind some shit that you got me in? Whatever. She didn't put no money on my books, nothing like that. I ended up having to get on probation. I was not able to continue in the College First program with the military. It's like, and even when I graduated from college, she didn't go to my college graduation. She claimed that the police was going to be looking for her or whatever. But, like, I'm your first child to graduate from college. You would think you want to be there. But no, I feel like it was a thing of jealousy, because all throughout, like, my life, thinking back now, I could see times where she purposely sabotaged me. Like, really, going to community college was not my first plan. I was supposed to go to a college in Austin called Houston-Tillotson. She let me do my essay. I got accepted, and then she told me I could not go. And I know she didn't want me to go because I was taking care of her and my brothers. So that got sabotaged, and she sabotaged my military thing. But I realize how hard I go for the people that I love, right? Because I feel like I gotta, like, overdo it. But that's just who I am. I love with my whole heart. But I'm realizing that I need to be one of the people that I love so that I can love myself the way that I love everybody else. And that way I won't continue to make the same mistakes in relationships by accepting crumbs, because the crumbs feel like a whole bakery to me. Because when you come from nothing, nothing plus one is really still nothing. So I'm romanticizing things that really don't matter, because people only do it until their masks fall off. You know what I'm saying? So that's just one part of what I feel about being raised by a narcissistic mother, absent father. Yeah. All right, bye.